Have you ever found yourself scrolling at 2 a.m.? You know you should be sleeping, but you just can't seem to stop. Well, it turns out that's not a lack of willpower. In this explainer, we are going to pull back the curtain on the hidden psychological tricks social media apps use to get you and keep you hooked. Let's jump right in.
Wow, that's a quote from a Silicon Valley insider. In fact, he's the guy who invented one of the key features we're about to talk about. He compares social media design to behavioral cocaine. And you know what? It isn't an accident. It's actually a multi-billion-dollar business model built around one thing: capturing and selling your attention.
So how do they actually do it? I mean, how does it work? To really get it, we have to start inside the brain with its reward system. And it all kicks off with one very powerful chemical, dopamine.
Okay, so here's something most people get wrong. We think of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, but it's not. It's actually the chemical of anticipation. It's that thrill a gambler feels right before the slot machine reel stops spinning. It's the feeling of maybe. And that little word, maybe, is exactly what these apps are designed to exploit.
Think about this for a second. When you pull down to refresh your feed, you see that little spinner, right? That tiny pause. That isn't your phone being slow. Oh no, that is an intentional design choice. In that micro moment of waiting, your brain gets a hit of dopamine, anticipating a potential reward. Will there be a new like, a new message? It's a tiny feature that creates a powerful, addictive loop you trigger hundreds of times a day.
So this feeling, this addictive pull, it's not random at all. It's the result of a very carefully crafted playbook. You could even call them weapons. Specific, intentional design choices that companies use to keep our eyes glued to the screen. Let's break down the three biggest ones.
The three core weapons in their arsenal are infinite scroll, variable rewards, and social validation. And trust me, once you understand how these three work together, you are going to start seeing them everywhere.
Remember reading a book or a newspaper? They have a bottom, an end to the page, and that's a natural stopping point for your brain to ask, hey, do I want to keep going? Well, infinite scroll gets rid of that completely. The content just never ends. It's like a bottomless bag of chips. Your brain never gets the signal that it's time to stop.
All right, this one is huge. What you're looking at here is the most addictive pattern known to science, a variable reward schedule. Years ago, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner found that rats would press a lever most obsessively when a food pellet came out randomly, not every single time. Social media is built on the exact same principle. You don't know which post will get 50 likes and which one will get 0. And that unpredictability, it keeps you hooked, checking again and again and again.
Now for the last weapon, and this one is the most primal. Humans are tribal creatures. For thousands of years, being accepted by our tribe meant survival. Being kicked out meant, well, you get the idea. Our brains are deeply, deeply hardwired to seek social approval. And every like, every comment, every share is a tiny hit of validation that tells your ancient brain you're safe, you belong. These apps have weaponized this fundamental human need to keep us coming back for our next dose of acceptance.
Now, these tricks might just sound like clever design, but they are actually grounded in some pretty hard science. In fact, a major study published in the journal Nature Communications proved that our behavior on social media is a form of scientific conditioning. The scientific model they're using is called reinforcement learning. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. It's a process where a behavior, like, say, posting on social media, is shaped and strengthened by rewards, like getting likes. The goal for the system, and for your brain inside it, is to get the most rewards possible.
This slide really illustrates it perfectly. Researchers have literally called social media a Skinner box for the modern human. In this model, you are the subject. The app on your phone is the lever, and the like or notification, that's the reward pellet, training your behavior over time without you even realizing it.
So does this training actually work? Is it real? Well, that study I mentioned analyzed over 1 million posts, and they found definitive proof. When users get more likes, more rewards, the average time between their posts actually drops. And by how much? By about 18%. So let's be super clear about this. Getting more social rewards causes you to change your behavior. This isn't just a correlation. The rewards are actively training you, just like a lab animal, to post more often, which maximizes engagement for the platform. Your behavior is being shaped.
Okay, I know this all sounds pretty bleak, But the good news is, the moment you understand the system, you gain the power to break out of it. So this final part is all about how to take back control of your own mind and your own attention.
First things first, it is essential to realize this is not your fault. You are not weak. Your willpower is literally up against teams of thousands of the smartest engineers in the world, whose entire job is to keep you hooked. You can't win this with brute force. You have to be strategic.
The key here is to create friction. You have to break the seamless automatic loops that the apps have built. Turn off all non-essential notifications to get rid of the constant triggers. Set your phone to grayscale. It makes it way less visually tempting. And maybe the most powerful tip, delete the apps from your phone entirely and only use them on a computer. That one barrier can be enough to break the whole cycle.
Ultimately, this is about changing your relationship with your device. Right now, is it a tool that serves your goals? Or is it a slot machine that uses your own psychology against you for profit? The goal is to consciously, intentionally make it the former. To the algorithms, your attention is just a resource to be mined. They are constantly bidding for every single spare second of your life. But now you know how the game is played, and that means you get to decide who or what is truly worthy of your focus. The choice is yours.